Alright, what is up guys? Maniac here, and welcome back to another video. Sorry, I was moving my earbuds. Today, I want to talk about something a bit different. So I have an interview to go to in about it's 11, so about 3 hours from now. My interview is at 2:30 my time, and it's 11, so I have an interview today. The thing that I've noticed is that I don't like interviews for different reasons than other people may know. First of all, I know I already made a similar video about this, and I know Grade A Under A made a video about this, so any jokes I make that he also made, just know I didn't steal from him. I was just, I won't be trying to make lots of jokes that he made, anyways, so, but one of the things I really don't like about interviews is when they ask you, why you want this job. I wasn't given an interview whenever I was working at the theme park, Wild Waves. I'm still working there. I'm working there for October for Halloween. And then once that's over, I will be completely done of that job. Sadly, because I really like this job. This job is pretty cool. Working at a theme park. If you guys want my advice, work at a theme park. It is surprising how fun it is. Granted, you do have a couple Karens because they spent their money on shit. So they think that they're entitled to have to deal with, or that they get what they deserve, but, other than that, it's pretty fun. But one of the things I don't like about interviews is the fact that they ask you, what are your strengths, what are you good at, and to me, I don't really like talking positive about myself, just because I feel like actions kind of reflect a person as opposed to, what they say about themselves, because they can say one thing, but then they're not good at what they say. Have you ever seen those guitar videos where they say they're the best at it and it sounds god awful? That's kind of where I'm coming from. So whenever they ask me what are you good at, I'm to be honest, I really wouldn't know. There are some stuff I am experienced with, but just because I'm experienced with those doesn't mean I'm necessarily good at them. And yeah, you're not supposed to say that because you're supposed to be well, I'm good at these things. But I hate people who talk highly of themselves. Whether it's every once in a while or in general. If that's all they say, there's not one single bad thing they think about themselves, then that's horrible. Then it comes around to well, okay, what are your weaknesses? It's to be honest, I'm not really a people person. And this job I'm applying for makes me a people person. I'm supposed to be a retail person, so within that, I feel like I have to be a people person because I'm bagging people and whatnot. So there's that. And I'm also joining them. I'm also joining the retail experience at the weirdest time ever when. And here in Washington State, they banned plastic bags, meaning that if you go to a place like King Soopers or Fred Meyer's, as it is here, and you try and get a plastic bag, you have to pay for those plastic bags. So this is a really weird time. My parents also wanted me to join or get a job at retail whenever COVID was around. If you guys remember that weird toilet paper shortage ordeal, that's kind of similar, and I didn't want to, and to be honest, I'm glad I didn't get a job whenever that toilet paper shortage was around, and people were scouring for toilet paper just because of the fact that, sorry, I was moving my chair now, just because of the fact that it's so bombarded and crowded that 5 minutes into this job I would just go into a corner and cry on my first break because it is awful. Now, don't get me wrong. I've worked busy days before. Even though I've only worked weekdays, kinda. I've worked Fridays and then Sundays and Mondays. I've worked, or no, Wednesdays, Thursdays. What was it? Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I can't remember my own schedule. More likely it was probably Tuesdays and Wednesdays because I was working part-time, so I was working Wednesdays, Tuesdays, and Fridays. Or Saturdays. Yeah, so I was working Saturdays, And then Wednesdays and Thursdays. There we go. Now it makes more sense. My schedule makes a lot more sense now. So that was off Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, and Fridays. Closing to like the end of the regular work shifts. We close like September and whatnot. So more like most of September, and then we come back in October for Halloween. And then we close temporarily into like June or whatnot. It's a seasonal job. Wild Waves, a theme park here in like Federal Way, Washington area. But I never really had an interview for that job. Not like a proper like get all suited up, be like, "How are you doing, good sir? I am doing well. I hope your day has been wonderful. I hope." As you can see here, this is my resume. I don't have any job experience, but I feel qualified for something like this. Like I never had one of those when working for Wild Waves. I've been to those before. I've had 2 of those, and this is gonna be the 3rd one more likely. And yes, my nails are painted, so it's a terrible time. But this is my costume for Halloween at Wild Waves. My costume, if someone ever asks, I'm an angsty teen, even though I'm 20. That's one of the things I don't like about jobs is like I can easily tell negative things about me than positive stuff, and then I don't get the job. But another thing I don't like is whenever they ask like, "Why do you want this job?" It's like, because I want to get paid. Mostly, the reason I want this job is just to get my grandma off of my back, because of the fact that I hate applying for jobs. I don't know if you guys are the same way. I despise applying for jobs just because there's barely anywhere. You have to excuse all the noise out there. There's people working. Fitting topic. So people are mowing the lawn. I'm in like a condo area, so there's people gonna be mowing around here, so apologies if you hear that in the background. I'll try my best to kind of talk over it, but so yeah, that's my biggest problem is they constantly ask like, "Why do you want this job?" It's like, because I want to get paid. What, do you think it's because I'm a people person? No, I got this job. I got hired at Wild Waves knowing damn well I am not a people person. I have told many coworkers I am not a people person. They have told me that job isn't for me, but I enjoy it anyways. Even though there are occasional people that get on my nerves. In fact, there was one I had to deal with. I had given this family, they had wanted a toy, but they wanted one of the smaller like kitty toys that we give to like kids under 48 inches if they don't get like a regular prize on the wall. So since they won a regular prize, I was just like, how about I give you a regular prize on one of the mini toys? And apparently that family has saw me do that, so whenever they didn't win a prize, I like out of curiosity, because apparently I distracted the dad, I had the dad throw a dart and then they popped a balloon so it wouldn't, so they didn't win a prize because they used up all their darts. So I gave him a mini prize, and then they walked back later and they was like, "Can you just give us a regular prize?" And I was like, "Screw it, I'm just doing this to shut you up. I'm not in the mood for it right now, alright? I'm just working, doing my job, you're taking it." In my head I was like, oh, they probably know I don't want to be mean to people. I hate being mean to people, even though they rightfully deserve it. So yeah. So to be honest, I am not a good fit for my job. I know this full well. I'm supposed to be doing my job. I'm supposed to be nice to people. I'm supposed to be like, "Hey, do you guys want to come play games?" I don't do that. Just because I feel like if they wanted to play games, they would come over and see me. They would see the games, and then they would come over and play. Hell, they're even walking in a direction of games. They could look over and be like, "Ooh, those look fun. Let's play some of those." Like games is in the middle of the park, so there's literally no way that I should be able to call them over and be like, "Hey, do you want to play this?" when they can clearly see it. But whatever, I was told to do that. I haven't done that a single time. I had a coworker do that all the times. I was like, you don't need to do that. If they see it, if they want to play games, they come over here. I've been successful without having to tell people or ask them if they want to play. Well, unless they're like lingering over in my booth and they're like, "Do you guys want to play?" But I've never been like, "Hey, do you guys want to play?" And but yeah, that's about it. So yeah, and I have experience with working at cash register, but I'm not good at it. Obviously, because you can't be good at working at cash register. And just looking at the cash registers compared to a theme park and like Staples and whatnot, it looks a lot more complicated because there's like a touchpad, there's like a keyboard thing. This one, like in like theme parks, and especially this one, it was usually based off like tablets and whatnot. So I'm not really sure as to how that would work. So yeah, so there's another experience I don't have. And another thing is I have to dress up. I hate dressing up because dressing up just means like you're trying to look. It's almost like looking like you're an ass kisser, and I don't like ass kissing. In both sense, if that makes sense. So, oh, my nails are coming off already. Damn. Oh, it should be fine. As long as they aren't nitpicky. Another thing that, so yeah, I don't know why I said another thing. So yeah, that's pretty much it. With like the whole clothing thing is, because whenever I go to like interviews, I always like expect that, or whenever I had my first job interview, I thought I'd have to like dress up in like a tuxedo or whatever, but no, I just showed up in like a dress shirt, dress pants, and dress shoes. And then my second interview, I showed up in a dress shirt with a jacket over, jeans, and Vans. So I looked very unprofessional in that, and I knew that. But whatever, I'm more prepared now. I don't have dress shoes, but I do have like black Vans. If you guys saw from my shoe collection that those like pure black Vans. I got new pairs of shoes. I got a new pair of shoes just to test out some stuff. But other than that, that's pretty much. So yeah, I don't like the whole like idea of like dressing up for an interview that you may or may not have. It's like I worked very hard. I brushed my teeth, which my gums were bleeding. I've been brushing my teeth a lot more, so that's not gonna happen. But usually I have a tough time brushing my teeth. So like whenever I brush my teeth, my gums would bleed. So like my gums would bleed. I had to shave, which was painful. Now it's not. It is not painful to shave. Because I didn't have a professional. I didn't have like an actual beard trimmer. So there's that. What else? What else bothered me? Oh yeah, the fact that I have to like wear two shirts over something. The fact that I have to make sure that my shirts aren't wrinkled. Majority of my shirts aren't wrinkled. This one isn't as much because I'm wearing it, but I guarantee you this thing has been on the floor, so it's probably wrinkled. But like all of my shirts are hanging up right now. Some of my uniforms, except for like my Wild Waves uniform, even though that's about the only uniform I have, and whatnot. So I even have pants hanging up on a hanger. Who hangs their pants? Like, the thing is I have a dresser, but I don't use it as like a proper dresser because it gets like messy anyways. I don't like folding clothes, so I just throw it in there. But I have pants, dress pants right now, hanging up on a hanger, folded. Why? Who needs to fold their pants for an interview? I'll tell you who. No one should. But you know who is? Me. I'm doing this. I don't get it. It makes no goddamn sense. Yeah. And another thing is that my grandma keeps bothering me that, like, I need to, like, look presentable and whatnot, which is understandable. But, like, I shaved my beard yesterday, as you can tell. If you guys watch some of my other videos, then you guys may know, I have a beard. This is mostly what I go to. It's like a mustache and a goatee. Or not a goatee, but like a soul patch. Or a patch, I guess. Just because it looks nice. I thought about like I need to figure out some like good mustache designs. Anyways, so I look like I don't know. I look like I look like a young adult, like not like a young adult, but I mean like an adult who's trying to look young, you know, painted nails, mustache, weird hair. Oh God. That is the first and only time you ever see my hair like that. I guarantee you. So, anyways, that's kind of why I've been wearing hats a lot. I shaved my hair, and I'm not comfortable showing my hair, and you can probably see why. And I have like weird glasses, you know, like this is sort of glass, and here's the thing here's what I've noticed that kind of stresses me out is that my grandma stresses me out a lot when it comes to like getting a job. She nitpicks over everything. Like I mean. Like, I will not notice a stain on my pants, but she will. She inspects the shit out of every clothing I wear. She's fine with me wearing, like, band shirts, like, all of the shirts I have with me, with the exception of, like, if we're not talking about, like, my work clothes or my work shirts or, like, underdress shirts. One shirt of all the shirts are not band shirts, but that was just because my uncle went out of town, out of the country, and bought me a shirt there. But like 99% of my shirts are all band shirts. Again, if we're not counting like plain white shirts and, well, if we're not counting plain white shirts and work shirts and that one shirt, then like all of my shirts are band shirts. But like you may notice in like all of my videos since I've done with these like weird backgrounds or different backgrounds that I've worn band shirts. And that is because I have brought all of my band shirts with me to Washington. So, yeah, so she's fine with me wearing shirts like these because as long as they don't have like any F words or like sexual imagery or whatnot, then they're fine. But she will nitpick over the littlest thing. If I even have a single drop of like a speck of mustard stain on my pants that is a bit noticeable to where like it would be noticeable, but it's not that big of a deal as opposed to like a big mustard stain, she would call me out on it saying that I need to clean it. I am not lying. She called me out one day and then she got like, I was just chilling in her car as we was headed somewhere and she goes, "You need to wash your pants." And I looked down, I'm like, to me, they looked fine. I didn't notice, there weren't like any noticeable stains, there weren't any stains at all. Well, to my knowledge, like if I was walking down the street, and if I was to like get pulled over or like arrested for like dirty pants in the front, I doubt I'd get arrested. But like, just like a hypothetical, like if I was walking down the street and the police handcuffed me for having like dirty pants, I doubt I would have been able to get like in handcuffs because it wasn't noticeable. And then she goes, "What's that stain?" And then all of a sudden a stain just appeared. I'm like, what happened? Like, she nitpicks all the little stuff. Keep in mind, like, my mom is the same way, but not to the extreme as her. Like, she'll be like, "Look, you gotta clean all this up." Like, I would like shave and then there would be like hair on the sink, which is gross, but like it's not really like a big concern of mine just because, you know, it's my hair, it's my bathroom, so I don't worry too much about it. But then like, if there's like those like little grimy stuff and whatnot, as long as it's not noticeable, like you know, whenever like you get all messy and whatnot, I like how this went from talking about interviews to talking about personal life. You know how like whenever like it gets dirty and whatnot and you don't like scrub it well enough, it could get like spotty and whatnot. Not colored spots, but like spotty. You notice it. My mom is fine with that because she doesn't want to be perfect. She doesn't want it to be spotless unless we're like moving somewhere. But my grandma is very strict about that. Like, I'm not gonna come out and say that I'm the neatest person in the world, but she better. But like, it's weird. She wants me to clean by a certain schedule. Like, she's like, "I want you to clean your room at least once a week. I need you to vacuum it because I don't want mice," which is understandable. But I barely have food in my room anyways because she told me not to have food in my room. But of the food that I do have in my room, it's not that messy. So what the hell do I do? I'll tell you what I do. Nothing. I do nothing. I argue with her because I have anger issues. Which is another thing that I feel like I won't be good for a job with, is because I have anger issues. Usually with these sort of jobs, you have to deal with angry customers, angry Karens. Now, in Wild Waves, I have dealt with angry people before, once or twice. Only one of them was very confrontational. I talked about it in one of my work videos. They were very confrontational, all up in my face, like, hey, or not in my face, but they was like, you need to do your job right, because I would never treat a customer this way. I'm like, cool, then apply here. See how you do, see how you fare, and then we'll see what happens. So, and that's the thing, is I don't do well with confrontation, so having to deal with an angry customer could be a bit much for me. But apparently I can't say that. I have to say I will try and calm them down, or deal with the situation, or just help them in any way I can, which is a big fat lie, because I know how I work. I know how my job is. I know the rules of the job. So if you go against what I was taught, and you expect me to act a certain way against what I was taught, then I'm just gonna yell at you, because you don't work here. You probably never worked here, because otherwise, if you did, then you would have known how this job works. So yeah, so I'm not really good at confrontational stuff. I mostly have like a fight or flight instinct. Most of the time I do try and, well, fight, as in like I'll just try and confront them, be like, look, you're doing this wrong. That's not how it works. Here's how it works. Try and help them. What time is it? I'll have to get ready soon. Not really. My grandma's gonna be upset if I don't. So, and then with that, if fighting doesn't work, then I want to ask for help, and then I'll just let them deal with it. Because I'm not really comfortable dealing with angry people. And then there's this thing I have called autism and anxiety and ADHD. Autism and anxiety for me are is something new. I learned about it. I learned I had autism when I was a freshman, well, kind of transitioning from 8th grade to freshman, so the summer break in between those. So my autism is fairly new to me, and my anxiety is extremely new. So I'm kind of learning as to like how my anxiety is triggered or whatnot. And same with autism, is I'm very like emotionally sensitive. So like if you get up in my face, I either start crying or I like try and fight back or whatnot. I'll push you aside and then I'll start crying because aggression. But a lot of the times when something like that's supposed to happen, you're just supposed to like calm down, be in the moment. Oosa. You're not supposed to yell at these people, which I will, because I can't control it. And my ADHD, it's just a matter of like, especially as something like Staples, where like you have to like be quick and whatnot. You have to like be fast on the moment. My ADHD does not work like that. It is kind of different. Now, I do know that like at the end of like every interview, they would ask like questions, and due to my autism and ADHD and whatnot, I could ask like, okay, so if I do, let's say I do get the job, what would be some, since I have ADHD and autism, what could be some accommodations you could ask? But then now I'm making the assumption that if I get the job, what are they going to require? What can they do to help me? Like, I'm only doing something to help them. I'm working there. And they're doing something to help me by giving me a job. And I'm already throwing them questions at me like, how can you help me with my job? like, yeah, you can teach me, but I'm going to need more than teaching. I need, like, do I get, like, extended breaks? Do I get, I don't know. I feel like a good one would be, like, there's, like, a sign. I mostly feel like with a job like this kind of escalating and whatnot, I understand that like being like a people person is something that needs to happen, but I feel like there should be a sign on the wall. I feel like maybe music would help out, because I just do my job, I scan everything and whatnot, and then there would be a sign that says, hey, I have special needs, I have music on. Don't talk to me. I won't talk to you. I'll get you what you want, and we'll leave each other alone. I'll just do my job like normal. But they don't do that because customer satisfaction is 100% guaranteed that they need. Oh, voice crack. So yeah, I'm not sure. I wasn't really given much accommodations at Wild Waves. If I wasn't told what they were. The only one I know was just well, I have a feeling one of them was just I get checked up on every now and then to make sure that like I'm doing okay. Make sure that everything is fine. And yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I'm also keeping ear to make sure that no one is home. Is there anything? I can't think of anything else. That's pretty much the majority of the stuff needed. Well, I do have work experience, but it's like I think it's from like what July to October, so that's 4 months. July, August, September, October. Well, okay. I'd say September because, so yeah, 3, even though I worked from July to October, September was just like a really like only weekends and Fridays, or just mainly weekends. And September was like a pretty like a 3-week off because I didn't really have anything to do. See, I've only had like 3 months worth of experience on this stuff. And I will be, and hopefully I will be returning to Wild Waves next time they open up. Hopefully, I know that I want to stay working there, but the thing is I already plan on moving back to Colorado with my family, with my mom and whatnot, but they don't have anything like that down there. The only one they have is Elitch's, but Elitch's is just so far away. It's about like an hour from around where my mom lives. So, and besides, I would love to, if you guys ever, I will say this one more time, if you guys ever have a chance to work at a theme park, it is absolutely fun to work at. Even though it may not seem like it, it really is. Occasionally you get bratty people who think that they're on top of the world and whatnot, which is not true. You are not special. You are a customer. Yeah, so with that being said, hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. If you do subscribe, hit that bell notification to be notified as to when I upload, because I don't have a schedule. Leave a comment down below. If you guys are seeing this, let me know if you guys have any like weird interview moments, because I'm kind of curious as to some of those. The only awkward interview moment of the 2 I've had was I didn't get the job because I couldn't lift 50 pounds. Well, I wasn't confident enough to think that I could lift 50 pounds, so they was like, yeah, we can't do that. So yeah, I didn't get the job because I didn't know if I could lift 50 pounds or not. So yeah, and if you guys want to support this channel even more, if you've subscribed, liked, hit that bell and all that, share this video with your friends. Maybe they have certain experiences, or maybe they can just relate to me in some way. That's basically the same thing as similar experiences. Lose the Manic out.